Welcome back to Being Young and Blessed, where young people think it's cool to love, know, and rep God. My name is Bakari,
And I'm Ty.
and today we have episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yes, this is so exciting, y'all.
Doing my
This is
happy
surreal.
dance.
Yes. Why do young people have little or no faith?
This is a really, really good topic.
Yes.
Because we are young people.
Yes.
And, we're trying to create a fellowship to young people.
Yes.
So faith is a topic that we really need to tackle.
Absolutely. And I think that, it's good that we're having this conversation. Like you said, we are young because, we don't want to feel like we're talking at young people,
Yeah.
This is us with y'all, we understand, and so we just want to have a conversation about, why do a lot of people don't have faith, in this day in society. And we also want to talk about, just, ways that you can practice having more faith and building more faith. We want to give y'all some good pointers, some of our own experiences. We just want to have a good time, talking about this because it's definitely necessary in this day and age, right? Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And faith is a process.
Yes.
It's not something that, when you give your life to God, you just automatically get.
Yep.
Like, it's definitely a process. And we spend our lifetime growing our faith.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Absolutely. It's something that you build on.
Yeah.
And as you continue to build, it's almost like a garden. You're planting seeds and then you water, you nurture, then you allow the plants to bloom. Like that's kind of how faith is. You have to plant those seeds. You have to nurture them. You have to love them, put sunlight on them, take care of it,
Yeah.
and you will watch it grow, but faith can start small, small as a mustard seed.
Yes, yes.
But that's all you need,
It says a mustard seed is 1-2 not milliliters.
Probably millimeters.
Something like that.
Yeah, like real
it's
small.
Like very small.
Tiny. Yes.
So, I'll start with giving you the definition of faith.
Okay.
I looked up the definition, according to, the dictionary.
I have some definitions too, so go ahead because I looked it up too after you went, and I went on Merriam-Webster, and it's what. Go ahead with your definitions,
Okay,
but we're gonna break this down.
Yes, let's break it down. Let's start there. So I have faith is complete trust and confidence of someone or something, and it's based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof.
Nice. So I got similar ones. Now, what I love about Merriam-Webster is these definitions blew my mind, and I have a few of them. So one of the definitions is allegiance to duty or a person, aka loyalty. Another definition is belief and trust in and loyalty to God. And then there was like a sub definition, a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. And I put, in quotes, physical proof,
Yeah.
And then also like your definition, complete trust. So I think those are like great definitions,
Yeah.
Especially, the one that stood out to me is like loyalty to God. Because, what is loyalty? That's, you have so much trust in something. Like if you're loyal to your partner or if you're loyal to a job, just think about how you would act. You're dedicated, you're committed, you're focused. So that's how we should have faith with God. We should be loyal to him no matter if we see the end result or if we don't see it.
Yeah.
We can't lose sight of that.
Yeah.
So I love those definitions.
I did too. I did too.
Now, let's just like have like a general conversation as to like, why do you think so many young people have little or no faith in this world? I mean, I can start with, I think that we live in a backwards society right now where everything is all about seeing You have to see it
See
to
to
believe
believe,
it.
yeah.
And faith is the opposite, where you're supposed to, like, you know, believe it without seeing it, knowing it without seeing it. And I think, you know, society today, we get caught up in the material possessions
Yeah.
and the glitz and the glamour, or like the end result of something, like, and, you know,
Like, don't want to work for it, but want it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I want the prize, but I don't want to work for it.
Yep, exactly. And I think, you know, so people will see, like, they won't see the full process. They'll just see the end result. And so when they try to go and do that of which they see is done with someone else, that person may have not explained the full process.
Yep.
And so now you're getting hit with all these setbacks, and now you lose faith because you don't believe that it can still happen.
I feel like you have to believe in yourself too.
Yes.
Believe in yourself. Believe in your process to get to where you want to go to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I believe that God has a lot of things in store for each of us,
Absolutely.
but they're just on hold until we get to fixing our posture.
Yes.
You know, like fixing our posture and getting into routines to where we're pouring into ourselves physically, going to the gym and eating healthy and drinking more water, spiritually getting into the word, taking time to pray, you know, spending that alone time. Like, I think that all is a process of gaining a stronger faith.
Absolutely.
in him, in his plan for each of us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You have to get in that mindset, and then you have to work towards it too, you know,
Yeah.
because let's just say, like, you know, you may have a strong belief that you want to be a doctor or you're going to be a doctor, but if you never enroll in school, then that's not going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so even faith is about having that strong belief and having that knowing, but also putting the action towards what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
You know, that's so important.
Yeah, because anything that comes quick leaves quick.
Yes.
And you know that word "quick" is
Yeah.
a Satan trait.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's the mindset of Satan, wanting something instant gratification. That's another reason why people have little or no faith, because you want this instant gratification. But like you said, you earn it quick, you'll lose it quick.
Yep.
I think also because the world is so corrupt, and you know, people shy away from doing the right things. You know, it's not praised in this society to do the right thing. Look at all the movies, look at all the media, look at just how social media and everything, like it's not praised to do right or to do the right thing. You know, and then you get out and deal with everyday people, and these people are miserable, and if you try to share good things with them, or you tell them, oh, don't do that, now you're looked at as oh they're better than, or they're too good. Where does that mindset come from? Like, why does someone have to be too good or act better than because they're doing the right thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
That like, this world is so corrupt.
Yeah.
See how Satan has a hold on our young people? Because, you know, I see it in everyday life. You can tell people are wrestling and have spiritual battles within themselves of wanting to do the right thing, but they're pressured by other people to do the wrong thing. And if you do the right thing or you stand out, now you're getting ridiculed. So it's hard for people to do the right thing in society because they're looked at as wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the starting point for a lot of young people needs to be of just, if you have that inner feeling and saying that, let me think, I'm having a moment. like faith is interpersonal.
Yes.
Right? So a lot of times we have that inner spirit telling us that we want better for ourselves. Like, I want better for myself. This what I've been doing isn't working.
Yeah.
So that's a starting point to where you know that you need to look on to God.
Yes.
And get that personal relationship.
That's God's voice speaking to you, saying, hey, something's not right.
Yes.
Let's fix this.
Yes.
That's God's voice.
Yes, because that 1 foot in and 1 foot out thing, It's a never-ending battle.
Yes.
That is a spiritual warfare within yourselves, and we're just not strong enough to do it alone.
No. And y'all need to know that, because let me tell you, I've tried to do it before. I had a mindset where I just was like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But, the problem that I found was I wasn't including God in everything in my life and in my plans. You're right. You can't do it alone. You can have all the faith in the world, but if you don't have the proper, like if you don't allow God into your life and trust that he's going to make the way, it will be very hard for you.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in my life where I tried to do it all alone.
Well, I don't think that's having faith.
Let's speak on it.
I don't think that is having faith, because if you do have all the faith in the world, you're really surrendering yourselves. You have that loyalty to him and his plan.
Yes.
So that you were just, a lot of us honestly try to just operate on our own understanding.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. That's true. And I'll be honest, that was me. That's a lot of us, but you can't do it alone.
No.
I think also, people give up on the first side of disappointment.
Yeah.
A major setback, or if they see things that aren't going their way.
Yeah.
They lose faith. But that's why it's important to to have God in your life, because those setbacks they're meant for you to propel you forward. They're not going to be really setbacks.
And they're lessons.
Yes.
You have to really look at that disappointment or that setback or that rejection, and really consciously really look into that and say, well, what did I get from it? Because I'm sure you got something from it.
Yes.
You know what
There's
I mean?
always a lesson in what those disappointments and things in life that we go through.
Yeah, because my story time, I've been through many phases of where I felt like things were falling apart. Losing a job, kids are out of control. Me and my husband are not communicating, so our relationship is in turmoil. I was literally what is going on? You know what I mean? But I really, truly believe that it was my faith in God that kept me afloat.
Wow.
To just take things as it came, hour by hour, day by day, rolling with the punches, literally.
Yes.
And I just knew, I know every single time where I feel like things are a little chaotic, is that this is the time where I need to really focus in.
Yes.
On God right now. Me and God right now. We need our time right
now,
Lord.
It's got to be just
we need our time right now, Lord, because the way things are going right now, they can't stay this way.
No.
They cannot stay this way.
And I think Satan, he's a trickster.
Yes.
These setbacks and disappointments, those are illusions. When you think that things aren't going right in your life, those are illusions, especially if
that are meant to take you out.
Yes.
Meant for you to give up.
Yes.
And
lose all faith.
Yeah, and it's you got to get to that point. You got to get to that point where you're like, you're not going to win. You're not winning this. You're not winning
I think another thing that young people struggle with is because the environments that we grew up in,
that's
a lot of people, the world that they see, it's violence, it's death, it's drugs. I mean, everything around them. Yeah. So it's hard for some people to see faith because everybody around them is just living fleshly.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to build your own personal relationship. I'm not going to stop saying that. I might say that on every podcast, to build your own personal relationship, because there's that inner knowing, like you said earlier. That's where it starts. You feel like that God's voice is telling you something's not right.
Yeah.
But when we try to take the step forward and do right, different things in our environment might tempt us to push us back. I think that's another problem. Also, I think that, like our wrongdoings or quote unquote sins make us feel like we're not worthy of God. And then people around us and everything in society will try to like condemn you and accuse you, that Satan's voice, that you're not good enough. And so you might lose faith because let's say, yeah, you weren't perfect in the past. Again, nobody's perfect on this earth walking.
Yeah.
So let's say, yeah, you did have a shady past. You did wrong things, but let's say you convicted yourself, you surrendered, you started making changes. Now you're not that way anymore. But somebody from your past knows your business. And they might come up and try, I know you from such and such. You ain't that. That ain't you.
They witnessed your sins.
Yes.
That's so scary.
And that can put a huge damper on your faith.
Yes, it
and
could.
it can hurt you. It hurt me before. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the same person. But as you build up faith, different tests will come at you. And sometimes people from your past will try to come back and tear you down.
And God doesn't ask us to have perfect faith.
Yes.
He's just asking us to have some faith. He's saying just have some faith. I'll figure out the rest. I'll carry the rest.
Yes.
I'm just asking for you to have some faith, not perfect faith.
Yes.
Like he understands that there is going to be people, experiences and disappointments and all these different things that are going to test our faith.
Yep.
But our job and what he's asking for us is to just carry on that faith.
Yes. And I think, like you said, it's a process.
It's and we can spend our lifetime. It's a lifetime process.
Yeah, it's a continuous effort.
As long as we are on this earth.
Yes.
Our faith is going to be tested.
Yes. And you guys have to know that. Like, and I think that's so important because I remember a time when I'm like, what the heck? Why is all these? I feel like I'm being attacked from every angle, ready to give up. This will happen, especially as you build up your faith and you become a light in the world and you find yourself. There will be more attacks. And it's not a matter of why or wanting to give up or being overwhelmed. Mentally, everybody train your brain to realize that these tests ain't going nowhere. They will continue to happen as long as you're breathing, just like you said, as long as you're leaving. So that's why, you have to put on that full armor of God.
Yes, you do. And it's personal. It's not a religious thing.
Yes.
It's not a religious thing.
No.
Faith is personal.
Yes.
It's on you. It's in you. It's on you.
In you and on you. I love it.
In you and on you. You know what I mean? You don't have to tie faith to the church.
Nope.
Or any
or
religion.
look for validation outside of you.
Yeah.
Let God validate you.
Exactly.
And have that strong belief within. And I think it's even more than a belief, it's an inner knowing.
Yeah.
Because one of the questions that you want to that you asked while we were off, we're meeting about this is, where does faith come from? I think that's an important question, and I guess I can start with that. For me personally, where my faith came from, and I'll go into a little bit of story time as well since we're on that topic, but for me, it's an inner knowing. It was something that it's in you, like you said, it's in you and on you. So you can't deny it. It's in all of us.
Yeah.
But it's our choice is if we're going to react and respond and focus on that. And I also think just experiencing different miracles in your life. You ever go through something, you be like, I don't even know how I got out of that.
Yes.
That was God.
Absolutely.
There would these miracles that working in your life, that is God showing up in your life. So he can encourage you to continue believing and having faith in him. Because there are some things that are so mind-boggling that you can't even understand. And
not even doctors can understand.
Exactly. And you're in my head right now because I was thinking about like the galaxies and the stars and stuff that they can't even explain, or even like diseases and anything.
Yeah.
That miracles that happen.
Yeah.
You have to know that is God. you know, because you
There's no way else to explain it.
there's no
Science can't solve
no
this equation.
no. It's like God will make the impossible possible,
Mm-hmm.
and the more you're exposed to that, the more you will yearn to, you know, and you will build on your faith.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, there was a time, okay, in 2014, I was in grad school in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the college days, broke. Well, I'm still broke, but we ain't talking about that, okay? But college, you know, you ain't working, you know, you're in school, you know. So I remember I had like no money in my account, and I was like hungry. And I was all on Grubhub, and something told me, you know, just go ahead and order it. Just act like you got money in there, and it'll be covered. And as soon as I ordered it, it went through. I was shocked because I didn't have money in my account. Like, and I couldn't explain what that was, but like I said, there was the inner knowing that told me to just do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a quote in the Bible that says, like, birds don't worry about where their next meal is coming. Animals don't. So if God has favor on them, how much favor does he have on us?
Yeah.
You know, so it's about walking in it and believing. You know what I'm saying? Now, somebody might come back and say there's a logical explanation for that. Okay, yeah, money did hit my account that day, but I didn't know.
Exactly.
That was like, it was right on time.
Exactly.
Like, God works like that, like right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time. You know, but you have to
yes.
have that strong belief. Just another example is when I was in ATL last summer, I was going through a mental breakdown because what happened was I was booking an Airbnb, and because I was living paycheck to paycheck, I was booking by the week. So every time I got paid, I would go ahead and purchase like the next week.
Okay.
Well, the owner didn't reserve, like she didn't block off like months. Like I told her I was staying long term, but she allowed someone else to reserve the room. So what happened is they booked it for like months. So I literally I had like a couple days to like move out or find somewhere else to stay. And that was like one of the cheaper Airbnbs around. So I couldn't afford to go nowhere else.
Yeah.
I was panicking. Like I started bawling my eyes out. I started just pleading to God. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like I was on the verge of living in my car. And I remember like I was just crying out so much. And I was like, God, please send your angels. Please help me like get through this. And literally that same day, later on that night, I had received an email from a job that I had applied to that I've been waiting for, because that was another factor. Like I was waiting on a full-time job,
right?
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm working all these other odd jobs.
Yeah.
So that job came through at like right in the nick of time. And that was the job close to, you know, where my cousin stayed, and, you know, she allowed me to stay with her.
Yeah.
So look how God works. You know, like he's going to show up right on time. And like through these examples, it showed me that, you know, this is why you should have faith, because I didn't see a way out of that situation.
Yeah.
But I knew the power that God had.
Yeah.
I knew that even though it seemed impossible, it's not impossible to him. And so, you know, you can't lose. And okay, I'll be honest. I was losing faith in those moments because I'm like, whoa, I can't see that. I can't see the end of this.
Yeah.
But I still stayed the course.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Is, you know, you have to stay the course.
Yeah, although your flesh was conflicted.
Yes.
Your heart and your mind knew what God has already done for you.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. If you the more conscious you are about what God has already done for you, the things in the future that He has waiting for you, you have no doubt that you're going to get.
Yes. Woo. Speak
You're
on
like,
it.
God, I know what you already done for me.
Yes.
I know the situations that you got me out of.
Yes.
So there's no doubt in my mind that I know that where you're going to take me.
Yes.
And what you have waiting for me is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to give it to me at the right time.
Mm.
Not on my time.
Yep.
At the right time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and I think that comes with faith is these spiritual tests. I think those come with faith, because like even in the Bible, like I'm not going to get too much into like the story of Job, because we're going to talk about that later and we're going to break it down. But I just want to just give you like a brief surface level of, basically God was praising Job. He was his highly favored servant in all the world. So Satan comes along and he's like, oh, that's your favorite? He said, well, I bet you if, he's only praising you because look how you favor him.
Right.
Look at all his material possessions. That's the only reason why he's favoring you. So God and Satan had a meeting. Pretty much they had an agreement. And God said, okay, well, don't harm him, but you could go ahead and take his stuff, and we're going to see if that's true, if your statement is true. So Satan will come and test you. Again, and God, it's like Satan and God will come and test you to see if you really have faith, or you only praising him, or you only happy when life's going good, because that's
I
not
know a lot
with
of people
faith.
like that.
See, and that's not real faith, because you can't just praise him when everything is going good. You have to praise him at all times.
Through it all. Yes.
That's the true test of your real faith.
Yeah.
When everything's going all good, of course you're going to be praising him. Of course you're going to have all the faith in the world.
Yeah.
But lose something. Job lost it all. He lost his kids. He lost all his material possessions. He lost pretty much everything. And he still didn't curse God. He was upset. He was trying to fondle and find answers, but he never cursed God. He never turned his back on God. He never took a turn for the worse.
We need that Job spirit.
Yes, because it's like that's the true testament of faith. Like when things aren't aligning properly in your life, things aren't going the way you want, are you still going to hold on to that faith and believe? Because as Job did, and he didn't curse and he still held on, God blessed him double. He received double of everything.
Yeah.
And that's how God works. If you continue to show him that faith and you stay connected to him, he'll bless you tenfold.
Yeah.
Because he wants to prove he wants you to prove to him that
you're for him.
You're for him, and you're not just for the all the good and glitz and glamour.
Well, that's what back to the definition. The main word that young people give so much praise to is loyalty. That's loyalty right there.
Exactly.
The loyalty that you have for your friends, the loyalty that you have for, gang.
Yes. Through thick and thin.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, have that with God.
Facts.
Because the things that people are able to give you, it doesn't even compare to what God can do for you.
And what he's trying to do for you.
And what he's trying to do for you.
That's so true.
Have that loyalty. Job had that loyalty.
Yes. He had that loyalty. He had that fire. He had that. He didn't let go of his faith.
Yeah.
And, sometimes God will tell us to do things that may seem unimaginable.
Or don't make sense. Yeah.
But I think that you should still follow through with that.
Yeah.
Because here's an example in the Bible, walls of Jericho. So basically, God led the Israelites to the city of Jericho, and this city they could not penetrate it. It was practically impossible to defeat. Like these walls they ranged from 12 feet to 26 feet high. And then like the city was surrounded by these walls that were like 26 feet high, and then they were 6 feet thick.
Whoa.
That seems impossible to humans. Yeah.
Yeah.
But God was like, I want y'all to march around this city for 7 days. And on the 7th day, I want y'all to, blow with y'all trumpets and shout out that y'all victory, pretty much praised. So Joshua, who he told God, that's who God was speaking to, he kind of was like, whoa. And as he was telling his friends and stuff, they were like doubting him, like, oh, that's crazy. Like they were real skeptical of that. And see, that's another thing. A sad note is when God tells you something and it sounds unimaginable, you don't have to share that with nobody. No. Be careful who you share it with, because people will turn you away and they'll doubt you, and they might place that doubt onto you
and block your blessings.
But if you have that strong faith that even if it might still sound crazy, but you still have that faith in him, you're going to follow through, because that's what Jericho did. And on the 7th day, what happened? Those walls fell. That was the power of faith, and things like that will happen in your life when you have a strong belief that they will happen, and when you follow his instruction. I heard God tell me to come back home from Atlanta. That was the last thing I wanted to do. I didn't, there were so many, there was a time, actually, it was like a month before I came back when I was like, oh, I'm about to come back. But then I was like, no, because I don't want to go back. Like, I don't want to hear the backlash.
I worked so hard to get here.
I worked so hard to get here.
Why to be here?
Why did you leave? Why did you come back? I didn't want to be looked at as a failure or looked at as stupid or, oh, he don't know what he's doing. Like, like the criticism of other people. But I felt this deep inner knowing. And I heard his voice. He told me to come back.
Come back home. And
then, he kind of pushed me to come back. So I followed through. And look what happened. I'm here for my family. We started this podcast. This is episode 3. Like life, life is going great right now. It's taking a turn for the better. But that was crazy. He told me to come back, but did you think I wanted to come back? That was the last thing I wanted to do.
Right.
I had a nice paying job down there.
Right.
My cousin, she let me stay in her home. Thank God for her. God bless you, cuz, if you're listening.
Right.
But that was crazy. I heard his voice. He told me to do this. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Why would I come back? I just got down here in March.
Yeah.
But I couldn't disobey him. I had to follow through. I heard his voice. And, I'm thankful that I did that, and God will put those different things in your ear, and it might sound crazy.
Yeah.
It might sound ridiculous. But trust. That's another definition. Just have complete trust in him
confidence.
And watch the results you will see. I'm telling y'all. Watch the results.
Yeah. And although, I love that.
Yes.
I love that. And he knew that you were in the good posture to receive that message. Because if you weren't, I don't even think he would have spoken to you. Wow. I think if you were in a different space spiritually, he would have let you miss this moment to be there for your family for the funeral, to have this opportunity to be with me in the studio creating this fellowship.
Wow.
And who knows where you would be at. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like it's so important to have that personal relationship to where you're able to receive messages from him.
And then and I love the analogy. We were talking off record and you had the analogy of the escalator. Do you remember that?
I vaguely do. I think I break it down.
But you basically were like, faith is kind of like an escalator, and you start down here at the bottom. But as you continue to take those steps forward in faith, you slowly rise up and you get higher.
Yeah, because you can stay on the step. That when you get onto the escalator, you can stay on that step and take the slow ride up.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can run up those steps and try to get there quicker.
Wow.
But in the midst of getting there quicker, you might trip.
Yep.
You might fall.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you just wait it out and let that process and just keep going and going and going, you will get there.
Yeah, so you can't skip steps. And that's like an analogy for like,
but there is steps.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Because you could make the conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to stay right here.
Yep.
I'm going to just stay right here. I'm sick of falling and tripping farther down these steps. I'm getting balled up. You got scars and you got blood and all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you could make the consciousness decision to just say, God, I'm just going to stand here and be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And let you work through me and work on me to get to this point where you want me to be at, to receive all these things that you have waiting for me.
Yes, and I think with you staying there and allowing God to pull you up the escalator, that's also kind of like being rooted in faith. Mm-hmm. Like your faith needs to be like how trees are. You ever see like an illustration of a tree and how their roots go way down underground? Yeah. We need to be like trees when it comes to faith. We need to be rooted, deeply rooted. Because when a storm comes, you're not going to waver. You know, there are things like that are not rooted down. When a storm comes, they
flying all over the place.
Yes, getting ripped apart, tossed around. And if your faith is like that and you're not rooted, when the wind blows this way or that way, when temptation comes in, when Satan comes in, when they start throwing all these obstacles in your life, now you're wavering. Now you don't believe. Now you're over here. Now you're over there. And where's that getting you? Nowhere. But if you're rooted in faith, when all of these obstacles come, when all these storms come, when death comes in, when sickness comes in, when disappointment comes in your life, you're so rooted in faith that you know you're not going to waver. Yeah. You're going to stand firm and strong. I trust you. I completely trust you.
I don't see it, but I believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that goes back to just like the weapon. Nobody said the weapons won't come. They won't. They will form. So these weapons that are going to form, that's why you need to be rooted in faith, so you don't waver away.
And when you say deeply rooted, that makes me think of generational. That thing makes me think of generational. Because I understand, young people, that your family may not have put faith in you.
Wow.
They probably didn't pray.
Nope.
They didn't talk about God and his works. You know, you don't know what faith is and what it looks like. You know what I mean? Yep. Like there's just these certain qualities that you and I come from different walks. You know what I mean? A lot of your walk comes from your experiences.
Yes.
But mine's is more so like my family poured these things into me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's just like, although your family didn't do this for you, you can be the start of it.
Exactly.
Because it truly is generational. When you say deep rooted, can you imagine if your great grandmother poured everything that she knew into your grandmother, and your grandmother poured everything she knew into your mother, and your mother poured everything that they poured into you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what makes me think of deep rooted. Like, that's like an abundance.
Yes.
An abundance of faith. You know what I mean? But also those experiences that we go through, we have to carry that on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is a tree. I mean, they say family tree.
Yes.
Like, you know, they say family tree. Like those elders, you know, they pour into the younger generation. That generation pours into the youngest generation. Like, you know what I mean? So those are the branches, those are the leaves and stuff like that.
Yep.
So when temptation in the wind is blowing, the leaves are falling off.
Yes.
But the branches and the trunk and the roots still stand strong.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
I do too. And when you just said that, that also made me think of generational curses too. Because, you know, like you said, there are some families who are not rooted in faith.
Yeah.
And that will make you lose faith because everyone around you don't have faith.
Yeah.
They're drinking their problems away. They're smoking their problems away. They're fighting their problems away. They're complaining their problems away. So that's what you do instead of having faith.
Yeah.
But it's important to know that you can be
Yes.
you can be the one that roots the family down. And that goes back to, again, y'all, I hope y'all don't get tired of me saying this, but this goes back to you building your own personal relationship with him, because you break away from the family. You know, when you build your own personal relationship, you don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. If it ain't right what they're doing, if you want to see a change, you be that change. You know, believe he will pour into you. All you have to do is add, and if you don't have faith, start with something small. Like, God, just get me through this day with peace.
Yeah.
Just get me through this day with peace. Once you get through that day peacefully, God, get me through the week with peace.
Yeah.
And he will show you that, so that way you can build up faith to go after more. You know, don't start with something big like, go, God, get me a house. Like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, are you ready for a house?
Exactly.
You want a house, but are you ready for the house?
What steps are you taking to build? You don't even have the confidence. So ask God for the confidence. So that way it's steps. Again, faith is a process.
Yeah,
and you have to start small.
It is.
Also, I just wanted to talk about like the armor of God. Like, there was this chart we seen, and what's interesting about that is it said, well, it's from Ephesians, the quote, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may withstand the evil in the day, and having done all, to stand." And it's like, because, you know, you're going to have so many things come up against you in this world.
Yeah.
So many evils. And literally, there's the illustration of the armor of God. And faith is the shield of faith.
Yeah.
So faith is protection.
Yeah, it is.
I also look at faith as like, it's like an invisible cloak that hides your blessings. Like God, that's how you know, because it's like, you can't see things, but you're not supposed to see certain things. You know, imagine if certain things were visible.
Wow.
They could be taken from you.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why you should build up your build up things that can't be taken away from you. Intangible things like your character. Is your character rooted in faith? Is your behaviors and your habits rooted in faith? You know what I'm saying? Because people can't take that away from you. They can take your clothes. They can take your money. They can take your car.
Yeah.
They can't take your mind.
Yeah.
You know, so build up these things in faith that can't be touched.
Yeah.
And that's where you will be protected. Faith literally acts as a shield.
Yeah.
It teaches you not to rely on the physical world. You know, because like that story with Job, Satan was hating like he always does. There's always going to be a hater around y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
That wants to come and steal and kill your joy.
Absolutely.
And if you are so focused on these material things that make you happy or certain ways of life, then you will fall prey to that. You know, so it's really important for y'all to understand that, you know, that you need not to rely on just physical, what you see, you see, you know, because that can be your downfall.
Yeah, be not of this world. Just be in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Don't follow the trends. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You'll always feel like you're not good enough.
Exactly.
I think that's why so many well, it started with females. Now I see males getting cosmetic surgeries, getting 6-packs put into their bodies and noses done and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Don't follow the trends of this world.
No.
I mean, because you will always feel like you're just never good enough.
Exactly. And
then they fix those things and they're still not happy.
Exactly. So that you really need to be careful of who you put your faith in. This is why we wanted this conversation, because we want you to put faith in God.
Yeah.
Don't put your faith in
He's
these
the
celebrities. Don't put your faith into these people that you think are influencing the world, because Satan right now, he's trying to hold his grip on the control. And he's blindly leading millions and millions of people with him.
To be fire for the hell.
Yes.
Just adding fuel.
Put your faith in yourself and put your faith in the Most High Creator. Everything else will fall through.
Not a perfect faith.
Yes.
Just some faith.
Exactly. And I think that your faith is not going to be perfect, and it won't even start off. It may not start strong. It's a process. Literally, y'all. I my faith. I didn't even believe in myself, because I was always told I wasn't good enough for the things I was doing. How I lived my life, just me being my authentic self, that wasn't good enough. So in my head, there's a lot of people who are like that, who grew up and don't have no faith. But when you start to pour back into yourself and allow God to work on you, your faith will build. He's going to show you. He will show you. I'm telling you, he will give you physical proof that he is real.
Yeah.
He will pour faith into you. He will be that confirmation for you.
He gives us plenty of opportunities to grow our faith.
Yes.
Plenty of opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say, Satan is watching, and he's waiting for the opportune time for you to get you to curse God. As you build up your faith, you get excited and stuff, and you're happy, and you start to work on bettering yourself, and you're building. But with each level that you get to, it's like new levels, new devils. So as your faith grows stronger, more things will be thrown at you test your faith.
Please know that.
That will make it seem impossible,
Yes, please know that.
And that's why you have to have that inner knowing that, nope, that's an illusion.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan.
Oh, you thought? You thought that? Yeah, you thought?
Yeah.
But I mean, and of course it's not as easy. It's not as easy to say that, because when you're in the midst of it,
yeah, absolutely,
you feel all of that.
Yeah,
absolutely. But if you keep in the back of your head, like, you're going to get through this, you're going to get through this, you will pull through.
Yes.
You will get through.
Yes.
Just don't give up on yourself. It's so easy to give up. It's so easy, because it's just easy.
Yeah.
And the way things are thrown at you, it makes it easy to give up.
Yeah.
It's harder to stand firm and to walk with God.
You can't do it alone. We're just not there. We're not there in strength to do it alone. I have to lean on God so many times.
He renews your strength, because God is unlimited.
Yeah.
He's unlimited in his ways. He's unlimited in his power. He will continue to pour into you. So if you think you can do it alone, you will be depleted and depleted and depleted and defeated.
Until you just surrender.
Exactly.
Surrender.
And you have to surrender.
Yes. Yes.
That's what faith is also about, is surrendering, letting go of all the emotional pain and trauma. Just release it and give it to God. Talk to him. Cry. Let them tears out and speak to him. Go out in nature. Stay away from people who challenge your faith. Stay away from people who don't have faith. because, that's also important. Like, if you're around people who lack faith, then you're going to lack faith. You ever share a idea with somebody and they turn it down?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You ever share some good news and now they're throwing shade? That's real. Stay away from those people because they will they are operating in Satan's energy.
Yeah.
And all they're going to do is come and steal and destroy.
Yeah.
But if you know in your mind that, hey, there's going to be weapons forming, that's your protection to keep you alert. Be alert. There is evil out here. Be alert to that.
Yes. So I think a short-term goal for the young people listening to this, as we discussed faith, I think a short-term goal is to ask God to help you with a burden that you seem that you can't get rid of yourself, that you really want to get rid of.
Yes.
Whether it's forgiveness or what's another thing that people may be struggling with, like forgiveness, anger,
pain, hurt.
Yeah, any of those qualities that you just want to get rid of, but you've been struggling with. Short-term goal, give it to God.
Yes.
Take a moment. Take a moment for the next 30 days.
Yes.
30 days.
30 days.
And just ask God, I need you to lessen this burden on my heart. And I guarantee if you show that commitment, and seriousness, and open your heart and allow him to, lessen that burden, it will work.
It will. And that's the thing, is you have to make it a habit. Make it a habit daily. Go to him daily. Because if you don't go to him daily, once you train yourself at 21 days and you make it a habit. So talk to him for 21 days straight and work on that for 21 days straight. As you keep doing it every single day, and let's say you miss a day or something, get right back up on it the next day. It's okay, because we're not perfect, but go ahead. Keep that tunnel vision. So that you can work on yourself and he will work in you. I also think along with that is journaling. Write down your thoughts, get that out of you.
Anything that you're feeling.
Yes.
Anything that you're feeling.
I picked up my journal from 2018.
I seen you said that. Yeah.
And I think that's powerful because you can see your growth. You whoa, look how far I came.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff I was talking about.
Look what I thought I wasn't going to be able to
get through.
Yeah.
And boom, you've made it through.
That's perfect.
That will help with your faith as well.
Absolutely.
I think so starting with a small goal, I think, yes, make sure you pray and meditate, connect with God, share your plans with him.
Yeah.
Ask him.
Yeah.
Ask him to assist you.
Yeah.
Connect with him. I'm telling you, y'all, you have to make it him personal, because how he communicates with me is not going to be the same way he communicates with Ty or with you. He
would be a complete stranger if he communicated to me how he communicates with you.
Yes.
I will be like, what?
Right.
I will literally be confused.
Yeah.
But he really does.
Because he knows your heart. He knows your gifts. He knows your time.
Yes.
He knows everything before you even incarnated here.
Yeah.
So he knows how you operate.
Yes.
He knows what you like. He knows what you don't like.
Exactly.
So as you keep that open communication with him, he will speak to you through those things.
Yes.
He knows I like R&B songs. He might speak to me through a song. He knows I like nature, and I be out in nature. He gonna speak to me through that.
Absolutely.
So don't be shy and don't limit yourself as to in ways that you can connect with him, because as you stay open minded of how you can connect with God and reach out to him, that helps with your faith too, because he will literally, you know how you say you can't really physically see God will show up in physical forms.
Yes.
In different ways, in different messages.
Oh, yes.
There's sometimes I'll look up at the cloud and I see messages. That's God in physical form speaking to me in that moment. That's confirmation. You know, again, y'all also need to just understand that there will be obstacles.
Yes.
Those are never going to stop.
They're not.
The weapons ain't going to stop forming. They ain't going to prosper.
Yes.
Because even like in the story of Job, he said, Satan don't lay a finger on my child. You can take all his possessions, but don't lay a finger on him.
Yep.
So you know that you are protected by the evil forces of this world. You cannot be touched. Your soul cannot be touched. But you got to know that. You got to believe it. And you got to feel that and walk in it. That you cannot be touched. Okay, yeah, I might lose this. I might lose my house. I might lose a job. But I didn't lose my joy.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my peace.
And you're still here. And you have opportunity to keep going.
Yes.
Yes.
I also think that you should find a biblical verse or quote that you can reference back to.
Yep.
Because like in the first episode, when I opened that Bible,
yeah,
Hosea 6:1-2, that always stuck in my head.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to break you down and tear you down and fall, but he's going to build you back up. That was in my head. So every time that I was going through an obstacle, every time I was going through disappointment, in the back of my head, I knew that, okay, this is all going to work somehow.
Yes.
He's going to build me back.
Yeah.
You know, so find something that you can hold on to. So when you get in those moments of weakness or when you get in those moments of darkness, you can refer back to that to keep you afloat.
Yep.
Those are like little lifesavers to keep you from drowning.
Yeah, they are.
And get around people who want to encourage you and you know, help you with working on you, you know.
Yeah. Young people, we got this. we got y'all. Me and Bakari, we pray for each other. We give each other we both had a week. Woo, we had a week, didn't we?
Yes. Satan's been, you know, you know, your faith will continue to be tested.
Yes, absolutely.
And it can be in some of the craziest ways, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But if you have people to support you, you know, we always send each other like messages of encouragement, and it be right on time. It be on point, you know.
Amen. Because it's not us, it's God.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just gonna say, and God works through people. He works through a lot of things.
Because we allow God to use us.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Amen.
So, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
Remember, you know, this is Being Young and Blessed, where young people think it's cool to love, know, and rep God.
See y'all next week.
Yes.